Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Don Lutz.
My name is Mike Long. I am a 7th semester student at Berklee. Drummer.
And what's your understanding of what's going to be happening here tonight?
I'm not sure what to expect, but I know there's two drummers playing, two of us playing. Should be a good time.
Right on.
I'm excited.
Do you know what songs you're going to play?
I don't.
You can just go in cold.
Going in cold.
Make it happen.
I will.
I'm Chad Montermini, Seattle, Washington. I've been going to Berklee for 3 years now. This is my 4th year. And I'm super stoked to be playing some of Don Waz's tunes tonight.
Do you know what you're going to be playing?
Drums. That's about it. We'll see.
So you don't have any charts?
No, we haven't really anything.
Do you have an expectation for what's going to happen musically?
Awesomeness. That's about all I can expect.
I'm an 8th semester guitar player at Berklee. And I think we're going to be playing what Don was here in about 10 minutes or so.
I'm gonna run up and get my key to get into the room. So you guys, we gotta get that other kit. Yeah, we're gonna get the other kit. No.
It'd be goofy. So what I want to do is I want to take those songs and transform them. And so I got a rough idea, but also I want it to be suited to who's playing it. So we're going to figure out something based on who's playing that just doesn't sound like anything else.
Right.
And we'll make the songs fit that. Or we'll do other songs.
Cool. Right on. I learned the dance
Lip sync tour of discos.
I'm not missing out.
And they stopped the disco cold.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? That was here to do the dinosaur song. And no one wanted the disco stop cold. Man.
Yeah.
So it was like we were not wanted. It was a hostile takeover.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then we had to stand there and pretend to play. We weren't plugged in.
He said
She left you high and dry.
He was yours, huh? You know something? I was doing a session with the Stones last week, and Keith Richards' guitar guy brings in the bass. He says it's James Jamberson's bass, which I thought was like the holy grail of lost basses.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Supposed to be some kind of
I see you bright and early tomorrow, man.
How you doing, man?
Hey, man.
This is the band for today.
What's up,
Hi, man. How you been?
So he can't figure out what he's doing wrong, and finally he figures out by the third song that Jim Gordon's yelling, "Play!" And he just been looking at Madison Square. So that's the two drummer theory. Yeah.
How you playing tomorrow, Justin?
Right here.
I think Justin is.
Thank you. They didn't play the same thing. They sort of played around each other. And
With these, we can do something different, whatever you...
I tell you what I'd like to do is, I'd like to play that orchestra was thing for everybody. Okay. And let them get the basic vibe of it. Okay. I just think we should find our way of playing it. This is a group, so no sense in imitating that exactly. It's got Herbie Hancock and Terrence Blanchard, and it's got other people playing, So let's find the way we do something like this. The dilemma on all this, my initial hesitancy, I think, to even tell you what songs to do was based around wondering how to tie this together, like I said before, so it doesn't sound like you just walk in the Holiday Inn and there's a top 40 band covering songs.
Yeah.
So how can we put a thread through all this? How can we take all these different artists? When I produce a record, I try to be invisible. I try to I don't want people to recognize that I did it. You know, I think I did a good job when they say the singer sings well. That's best I ever heard her sing. Great, I did my job. When they say there are all these clever textures, then I fucked up, because that's what they're noticing, that instead of the thing. So as a result, it's all over the map. Man. You know, the Delbert and Clinton stuff, it's all over the map. So it would be great to tie it together. But you're part of tying it together. The way that this particular group of people plays together will be part of a sound. If people walk away saying, "Man, I never heard anything like that," that's the highest compliment. You know, well, it was better. I never heard anything like that, and I really dig it. Oh, I've never heard anything.
Structure, you know, the actual form of the tune. So we're just gonna have to figure out how to differentiate these sections as well, too, because it's kind of all kind of similar, you know. We don't have a singer right now to sing. If anything, you know, like, if that bass drum feel isn't exactly what comes naturally to you, change it. You know, everyone do the things. You've got the guidelines, but you're just different individuals than the people who played on it, and make it your own. It hit me in a flash, but it's stuck with me all my life. And this song is called "Born in Time," and I realized it's about 10 years after I made the record with Bob. And when we made it, I thought, oh, that's clever, "Born in Time." In time for what? Breakfast? You know, I mean, I didn't really think about it. And then I realized what he was writing about. He was writing about the same thing, about being born into a world where time exists. And it was all about, you know, you could fill in the blanks about what else there is in the universe besides it. I called him like the next morning. I said, I think I just figured it out. I sent him a letter, and he was so excited that I got it. He turned me on a bunch of books dealing with the same subject matter. And so what's good about doing this song is when we made the record, we missed the boat. This is a great song, and I didn't know what it was about. I didn't understand it, and we were rushing through a record with Bruce Hornsby, who was here last night to play piano, and Bob started singing it in the wrong key and decided that was the key, so it was never suited to his vocal properly. And because I didn't know what the lyrics were, he just played the chords, and then he sang it later. So no attention was paid to capturing the spirit of things. It's a very wistful song. It's really about a guy who's at the end of the period
of his life, you know, the period that he was born in. He was born into the world of time, and time's running out. And he says to this woman, he says, you know, you can have what's left of me from when we were born in time. It's a really deep song, and I felt like it's always bugged me that we never got it right. So we can rectify that.
1, 2, 3. I think in the setup, in the front, I think we should just
Maybe we do it every other time. You like it because it's churchy, right?
Yeah, because that's the feel that I was getting from the record. But
Okay, now I'm going to go with your instinct about the church thing, because I think that it is a hymn of sorts, you know.
Hi, I'm Noriko.
And where are you from?
I'm from Japan, Tokyo.
And what do you think of the Don Was experience?
Yeah, ridiculous, yeah.
Hi, my name's John.
Where are you from?
I'm from Kansas City. He's been such a cool guy to get to know and to hang out with. It's been really cool because he's been kind of treating us like an artist he would normally work with and letting our ideas kind of come out. And he's kind of like the organizer and the collector and like ultimately the final say.
Yeah.
But we get to be ourselves, we get to play what we want to play.
He's got signed finally to a French record company that was going to they wanted to make a real record and actually sell records and that kind of thing. So he came to LA. He brought his percussionist and a guy who played quarter tone keyboard. Had a quarter tone Casio. It was pretty cool. And then it was just the guys from a band playing. And the record company wanted him to sing in French because they had a law in France saying you could only have 2 hours a week of Arab language programming on a French-run radio station. So it effectively kept anyone saying in Arabic from being on the radio, although there were a tremendous number of people there who spoke Arabic. So we cut the song, and the cool thing was that it became so popular. It was a #1 record in France. They had to repeal the law in 1990. They had to change the law to accommodate phone-in requests.
Really?
Which I thought was great. You know, that he came to LA but it was intense because my band went and played in France, and we played at a place called Berklee, which is like like Boston Gardens or something like that. So, and it was at the height of this record being big, so we brought him up on stage. We were opening for Dire Straits, which drew like pretty much like white kids. And as soon as Khaled came out, man, everyone's like booing and giving him the finger and stuff. It's really weird. It's like it's a whole different kind of racism, and my band was mixed. No one objected to my band. That they hated Algerians, you know. But it was really deep. And that was when the record was #1 too. Wow. But there are enough people who didn't feel that way. But anyway, so it's a cool record, and yeah, it means a lot to me on that level that it actually impacted a political situation. Beyond which, after that, all the rhyme musicians started putting R&B grooves to the stuff, which hadn't happened before.
I did not know this keyboard.
Saxophone solo on the changes, right? Yeah. Yep. Okay, then another 7-bar verse, then another 6-bar horn break.
So the third ending is repeated twice. So it's three times total.
Let's make this shorter. was supposed to be a duet with Hornsby and Bonnie and the bass player from her band Hutchinson.
Yeah, Hutch.
And it was heading to a disaster, man, because she felt really strongly about the song, related to the lyric, and was going to put herself in a place she'd been, and I didn't ask the story, you know, but she was going to go somewhere when the tape was rolling. And normally we did demos and everything, but I just played it on the piano, and she gave it a perfunctory reading, because we just figured out the key, and that was it. We get to the session, and the chord changes, it's the nature of the inversions is where all that's where it's like, I don't know, some weird Irish ballad stuff or something. It's those suspensions that give it all the pathos, right? And Hornsby didn't want to listen to the demo. He was just going through a thing where he was tired of playing sessions. He didn't want to be known as a session piano player. He said, no, you want that guy? Get that guy. All right, well, Bruce Hornsby, he's great. And so we thought he'd come up with something. He didn't get the thing that made the song. So Bonnie ran through 2 takes with him, and now she was getting a little worried that she'd spent the acting wad before he'd gotten together. And they also weren't feeling the time in the same place. So it was just a total non-lock. So we called it, I said, well, let's run a drum machine to it so we know where the time is. And she didn't want to sing to a drum, she wanted something that was human, that would move a little bit. So she just fired this guy, Tony Bronigal. He was a good drummer, but she fired him from the band. And he was the only guy we could get, like, who'd come over to that song. And then to add insult to injury, I said, please, man, no, don't do any fills. You're not going to be in the rep. We're going to pull the drums out. You're really just holding the time. You know, which you're fired. Don't play any fills. Just be a metronome. Well, you couldn't pull the drums out, obviously, you know. But as soon as we pulled it out, the whole thing, even on playback, it just didn't. He was just an integral part of it. You know? And then Bruce could sense Bonnie's concern about the thing. He said, all right, play me the demo once. And then when he heard the demo, he got it, you know, and then he played the guy's part plus. It was brilliant what he played. You know, I think it's you couldn't have had that record without Bruce Hornsby, but he had to. There's a certain minimal thing you had to do, and then the next take came together, and the only punch we did was where she started crying. She got so into the thing that somewhere right in the second verse she just broke down, and we had to go back and get the 4 lines.
Wow.
Pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, give me more.
Yeah, more?
Yeah, give me something.
Yeah, Eric is here. Let's roll.
All right.
Do you guys have backgrounds on this?
Turn down the lights, turn down the pain, turn down these voices.
What I'm thinking is just to get away from like playing it badly, like Bruce Horns, bad Bruce Horns. If you could come in, I'm going to lay out of the first verse. What I'm thinking, because it was sounding really nice. I did it in the second verse, and it was just guitar and organ, and it sounded great. Can you get to the organ in time?
Yeah, it's just where it is right now.
We came in because I felt like we were filling on the
Yeah, we were.
second bar.
Till I register here, so hope I don't end up on the street. Home boy, everybody needs a home, home boy, everybody really needs a home.
Yeah, honestly, I'm more about.
calling you across the borderline.
When pride is born, and it keeps you moving on. Just across the
I'm so psyched. I'm happy. It's the end of a 15-year quest to get this done.
I never eat Wendy's.
It's caught. Got you.
Yeah, there we go.
You got my love, you got my love. Ooh. I will never give my love to no one but you, babe. I will never give my love to no one but you, babe. I'm giving my love to you, baby. You got my love, you got my love.
Because it's pretty well rehearsed. You know, we're about to run through the first dress rehearsal, but the music is so open-ended that it's gonna leave a lot of room for spontaneity, and I feel like we're like 90% confident. Like, you never know what's gonna happen, but that's cool. I think that's cool. If it's too rehearsed, it's too planned out, and that's what's gonna be cool. I think we're gonna come up with some cool stuff on the fly. So leave some room for some excitement.
I'd like to say, first of all, Don is amazing, and his production speaks for itself. Very, very grateful to be in this.
It's going to be nice. It's going to be a good show. The concert of the year for me. Maybe Century.
So what do you think,
Ready
man?
to rock out, ready to rock out. Just trying to stay chill, you know. I'm acting like, when I get nervous, I just act like I'm playing drums for my mom. And it loosens me up. I'm like, Mom, check this out. Takes me back.
Oh, check this out, yeah. Of course this isn't the...
It took me 2 hours to scrunch this up like this.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm definitely ready. It's been a good sound check. Can't wait.
So weird. So excited.
So tell me about the song you're singing.
It's actually my mother's favorite song. I grew up listening to Bonnie Raitt. It was the first song I performed at Berklee over in class, Petrified. And then here I am.
I was singing a brilliant song that was famous by Ronnie Elsa. It's called Across the Borderline. And it's just great. It has a beautiful sentiment, a very quiet verse. It's very subtle, and then the chorus just explodes, and the band sound amazing. And I have this great feeling inside when I sing it. I just can't wait to get in here.
It's like this soulful, rocky type of song. It's like, I mean, when I sing it, I mean, I'm really internalizing some special someone I'm singing to. So.
I'm singing Crying. It's
originally done by Roy Orbison, and Katie Lang did a version of it, which is kind of what I've been singing it for a while now. It's really
He's twisting everything.
a breakup.
Oh, yeah, on that.
I have a license.
Big up Don Juan.
Well, Dee Dee is actually a song about a female, Dee Dee, and she is too beautiful, and Chef Holly is singing to her saying you need to get away because you're just too beautiful. And I'm going to be singing that tonight, so I
mean, it's
my thing.
Look at this thing. Wedding, right?
It's a great song. It's a Bob Dylan song. So yeah, it's about, I think, the universe. That's what Don said.
There he is.
What's going on? It sounds great.
Singers.
Did we mention that we're going to bring everybody on stage right after the last song? Who's gonna do my makeup?
I'll be singing with you. Right there. Let me bring
He makes a lot of money, a lot of records.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Don Juan.